got a good one in store between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Sunday, we need it.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he powers his way up past the 30. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And he's got Moncrief. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 16 carries, 54 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. So here are the Titans backed up to start this drive. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about it being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Dion Lewis, a first carry for the expatriate. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Throwing is Mariota. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? There was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run, stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. From the gun, Mariota dumps it off to Lewis. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, you have to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This is Lewis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Mariota now. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now they'll run with Lewis. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And now it's 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calais Campbell on the stop. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports halftime. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he hits his man, Matthews. The Tennessee first down. That one Mariota to Matthews. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Here's Mariota. Smith catches left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Play fake. Mariota. They find some open field here. And they'll get this one down to about the 20. Yard line.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Sunday, 380.
A fake to Fournette, now it's Bortles to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it down deep into Tennessee territory. It's a big play. Bortles to Westbrook, 63 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Yeldon fighting, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On third down, Mariota. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. And they are going to take possession of the football. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
However form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. That's complete, right around the 8. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Sunday, green 80, green 80.
To throw is Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jags are an extra point away from taking the lead. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Titans getting set to go. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. First down, Mariota. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Mariota now to throw on first down. Buying time to his left. Finding room inside the 40. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Late in the game, defense tried to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well. And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, here's Henry. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position. They run. This is Lewis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Mariota hands to Henry. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Titans are going to win the football game. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time.